Hi, Steve.
Welcome to the Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 Wareham Conservation Commission meeting. It is 6:30. We have a quorum and the meeting is open. Alyssa, if you'd like to start with the public hearings.
Did you want to mention who's here?
Oh, yes, that would be very nice. We have present Alyssa Hurd, Bill Smith, David Hall, Sandy Slade, our 4 members.
Okay, so we have a notice of public hearing pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, Division 6. Public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. on the request for determination of applicability for Master Millwork, Inc., care of GAF Engineering, Inc., 266 Main Street, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571, to construct a custom woodwork manufacturing building with associated parking, utilities, and stormwater management systems located on Assessor's Map 105, Lot Mass 255, Charlotte Furnish Road, Wareham, Mass.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for this project?
Yes, Madam Chairman, it's Bob Rogers with GAF Engineering.
Thank you. Mr. Bichette, you're
Okay, so this project site is at 55 Charlotte Furnace Road. The project involves the construction of a commercial building at this site, which is an existing business. And the proposed commercial building, parking area, and stormwater structures are all proposed outside of any jurisdictional areas under the wetland laws. This request is being made as part of the planning board requirements to review this project. So therefore, I would recommend a negative termination number 1 and number 6 for the project, indicating that this project is not subject to review under the wetlands laws.
Thank you, Bob. Anything to add?
No, Madam Chair.
Questions from the board? I'm going to Alyssa,
No.
David,
No.
Dave, Jim.
No.
I have none. Is there anybody on the call that would like to have a question on this particular project? Hearing none.
I move that we close the hearing.
I have a motion to close the hearing. I have a second from Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
David,
Yes.
Are you still there?
Jim,
Oh.
me? Jim, do you have you approve closing the hearing?
No, okay.
And I do. So the hearing is now closed.
I move that we, that this, what's it called, an NOI be accepted with a -1, -6, because it's not included, it's not to be our area.
And to correct that, it's an RDA.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes, you're right, sorry.
So I have a motion. Did I get a second?
Second.
David seconded. All in favor? Alyssa,
Aye.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy, yes. So there's a -1 and -6. So planning board should be pleased that it's outside of conservation scope. All right?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay,
Thank you
Bob.
all. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Notice of public hearing pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protective Act, General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, Division 6. Public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. on the request for determination of applicability of Rooftop Power LLC, care of Hiram K. Bond, Rooftop Power LLC, 2980 West Shore Road, Warwick, Rhode Island, 02886, to install a residential ground-mounted solar PV system located on Assessor's Map 63, Lot 10607, 53 Mackey Way, Wareham, Massachusetts. Wow.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for this particular project?
Listening. I don't, it's not, That's the
Who is
property.
here for this? I'm sorry, who is here for this project?
property owner.
Okay, that's fine. Just state your name for the record.
Sorry.
W. James Rawlings and Rachel Rawlings.
Okay. All set, Sandy?
Thank you. Now, okay, Dave, up to you. Can you please?
Okay, so this project site is at 53 Mackey Way, and this project involves the installation of a small ground-mounted solar array in the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland. A 13 by 60 foot pile supported solar array is to be installed approximately 30 feet from the edge of bordering vegetated wetland at the site, which is an old cranberry bog, which is kind of right here in this area. The array would be supported on 8 helical piles. So there's minimal excavation for what's needed to be done at the site. The area is currently part of the lawn area of the property. The site is very flat and there's no tree clearing needed to put this in. Erosion control would be installed between the work and the resource area. So I would recommend the approval of the project with a negative determination number 3.
Yes. Rachel, is there anything you would like to add to the last particular that Mr. Frechette just gave us?
No, I believe it was, he summed it all up. It's just for our own residential solar service.
Boy, I'm really having a tough time with everybody's system today. The delay is not good. So if
I think it might be your system, Sandy, because everybody else seems to be okay.
all right, it's the same one I've used all along. Alan, would you like to set me up the other computer?
It's nothing wrong with it. I use it every day.
I know. So wait a second. So is there any questions from the board on this particular project? Alyssa?
Yeah, I have a question. You are 30 feet from the resource area, is that correct?
That's
is
right.
correct.
So the edge is right here and there's 30 feet between here and here.
Is there a reason you can't move a little bit farther away, or is this just you're going to the ends of the of what's allowed?
The septic system would put it part of the problem. It's between the bog and the septic.
Okay. So Dave, can you point to where the septic system is?
It's kind of right in this area.
No, it's just to the left of the actual solar field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't put it over here because it's kind of in that area.
Well, it's on top. I mean, you know, whatever.
I don't think they can't put it on the septic system.
Because it's not something that they can take away.
Well, you just can't drive pilings or anything into the
Okay.
septic system.
All right. So I had one other, this is really a question just on the whole notice of public hearing. It says that your name is Rooftop Power, is that correct?
Well, that's the name of the applicant. These folks are the owners, but the applicant for the that submitted the application was the actual power, the solar company.
Called Rooftop.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, I'm done.
David?
Dave, where's the 30-foot line there? If you could point it out, like how far away is 30 feet from?
Pretty much right at the
Right
edge.
Oh, so it's
there,
right at the edge there, so they're not really encroaching.
right at 30 feet.
Yeah, they're right at 30 feet.
Yeah, I mean, they're outside, but they are pretty close to the edge. Yep. And like I said, it's kind of all more or less altered land right up to the bog's edge anyway. It's not like there's any trees to clear, but again, they're still outside the 30-foot either way.
Okay.
Jim, anything?
No,
And my question is, it is an abandoned bog, correct?
The water levels are still being maintained. I've been led to believe that in that way it's not abandoned, but
Okay,
if I don't maintain the water levels, my basement floods, so I have to maintain water levels.
okay, thank you. Now, I tried very hard to find this property until I came up with a sign saying, one way, no trespass, do not go, one way, do not enter. So I never got down to see this site, even though I tried several times. Was this done on purpose to prevent people like me from coming down and looking?
It's not
No.
people like you. We've had people come down and do donuts in our field. We had people dumping on the property when we first bought it. We've had people
Why not?
try to come shoot up.
Where's this sign?
So I've tried to,
Makes sense.
between my neighbor and I, we put those signs up to try to slow down the traffic and for lack of a better term, riffraff.
Okay, thank you. I tried. Is there anybody on this,
You're not riffraff, Sandy.
is there anybody on this call that would like to comment on this project?
I move.
I need a motion to close.
Well, are you going around everyone or no?
I thought I did.
She did.
Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't come through mine. I make a motion to close the hearing.
I have that
Second.
motion. I said David is seconded. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy. The hearing is closed.
I move that we accept the project. And it's within does it have to have any
It would be a -3.
-3? All right.
I have a motion.
second,
David, Jim, the two of you tied. We
Okay.
went to. Of, was it Gitza?
Yes.
David,
I didn't hear you.
approve the project.
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy, yes, the project is approved. Before any work is done, please work with Mr. Bichette for the.
Absolutely.
You know,
Thank you.
Thank
Sandy,
you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,
never mind, too late. Pursuant
What?
to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protected Bylaw, Division 6, a public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020, at 6:30 p.m. on the abbreviated Notice of Resource Area Delineation for Manuel de Miranda, care of JC Engineering, Inc., 2854 Cranberry Highway, East Wareham, Mass. For resource area delineation located on Assessor's Map 133, Lot 1000B3, 0 Cranberry Highway, Wareham, Massachusetts.
thank you. Is there anybody here for this project?
Good evening, Brian Wallace with JC Engineering.
Okay, Ms. Bichette,
Yes, so this project site is on lot 1000B3 on Cranberry Highway. And this application is to have the Conservation Commission review and approve a wetland resource area delineation on this property. And this property is right across the street from Perry's Ice Cream, roughly. Let me just pull up the plan here real quick. as far as this, as far,
Someplace. Across the street.
Give the Zoom number for this one.
I lost David.
yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just grabbing the plan, that's all. So anyway, the intent of the application is to have the commission review and approve the wetland boundaries shown on the plan. I did take a look out there and do think there's some changes that need to be made to this. So at this time, I'm recommending we continue this hearing so I can meet back out there with the consultant so that we can look at that and come to an agreement on where that line should be. So I would recommend we continue this hearing until the next meeting, which is August 19th.
Thank you. Brian, anything to add?
I do not have anything to add. No.
Is there any questions on the board? I'm going to go to Alyssa,
No,
David,
No.
Jim,
Oh,
Sandy. Is there anybody on the line that'd like to comment on this particular project? I'm hearing and seeing take a motion to continue this until August 19th.
so moved.
I have that motion. Wait a second. Wait. Continue to use this one. So I have a motion from Alyssa to continue. Can you,
Shut down the line with this one.
Sounds like we're having a
second,
little difficulty there.
Sandy's having some problems there.
Hey, can we keep going?
Well, hold on a minute. We just need to get Sandy.
Sandy has to unfreeze.
I'm going to disconnect.
All right,
Shut that one off.
we're just gonna have to be put on.
Shutting this one off.
Yeah, we'll be put on hold for just 2 seconds while we get Sandy back on board.
Sure.
I don't know where. Take it in the other room. Take it in the other room. I'm back. Any better? Sound right?
You just have to shut one of those off because you're getting feedback.
Alan's working on it. I messed it up, so he's pissed. Okay. Now I continued it until 8:09. Okay, now I had it continued until 8:09. I heard a motion.
That was mine.
I wish you wouldn't touch anything. Now, I had a six. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes,
to continue,
continue.
David,
Yes.
The pictures are off.
Jim,
yes.
Sandy. Yeah. it was-
Sounds like we just gotta wait for Sandy to get sort of back on board here. Hold on.
I need that.
There you go.
Okay, so this is continued until the 19th.
19.
All right, next.
Next one is a notice of public hearing. Pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Protective Bylaw, Division 6. A public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 at 6:30 PM on the notice of intent for Kenneth and Claire Jelleran, care of Forsyth Engineering, Inc., 518 County Road, West Wareham, Massachusetts, 02576. For an addition to an existing dwelling located on Assessor's Map 101, Lot 13, 10 Bog Iron Road, West Wareham.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for this particular project?
Somebody's talking. No noise.
Dave, do you have anybody for this project?
I'm not hearing anyone.
Darren's phone.
Because I did speak to the homeowner yesterday, and I expect their engineer to have been on site on this call.
Yeah, hold on a second here.
Hello, this
Hello?
is Ken.
Okay, there we go.
I'm the homeowner. Our engineer was supposed to be there, but we're on the computer watching it.
I'm here. Do you hear me, Dave?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, because whatever, I'm here.
Okay.
However your program's working, it wouldn't go through my Bluetooth. I could see you and hear you, but I couldn't speak through the Bluetooth.
Okay.
All right, so I'm here. Darren from Foresight.
Okay.
And I can't understand a word your chairman's saying.
Yeah, I think she's getting herself straightened out here.
Dave,
Yeah, all I get is an echo and high pitch.
will you read to the project?
Yeah, so this project site is at 10 Bog Iron Road. And the project involves the construction of an addition in the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland and also a new septic system. A 26 by 31 foot addition is proposed, approximately 66 feet from the edge of the wetland. An existing deck and concrete walkway would be removed and the new addition constructed in that general location. The addition would have a poured concrete foundation. This site is relatively flat and surrounded by lawn area. The new septic system would be outside the buffer zone, as shown on the plan. Hay bales and silt fence would be installed between the work and the resource area. We do have a DEP file number for this project, so I would recommend the issuance of the order of conditions with the standard conditions for this project.
Thank you. Was it Darren?
Yes.
Any comments on this?
Nothing more to add. Dave covered it all.
Okay. Questions from the board? Alyssa?
So I'm wondering, is this going to be a two-story dwelling? I mean, the addition, is this two-story?
Yes. Yes.
And how many bedrooms are you doing?
We're doing an addition of 1 bedroom to the dwelling. That's why we're putting in a new septic system.
28 to 31.
Excuse me, hi, this is the homeowner. It's
Yes.
gonna- It's only gonna be a one level, just one floor. And it's a crawl space. And the size is 36
It's got a full basement.
by 22.
Crawl space.
No, it's a crawl space.
Just a slab.
The crawl space is 26 by 31 or 32?
32, yeah.
So it's not like it is on the,
The dimensions of the addition will be 36 by 22.
okay.
Okay, so it sounds like you had a plan change since this was submitted to us.
Yes, it was after I'd already submitted the plans, but we were well within the limits of work, so I wasn't worried about a couple feet on the addition.
Well, we will need to get a revised plan that's going to reference what's actually going to go in so we can reflect that in the order of conditions.
Okay. Wouldn't I just pick that up on the as-built, Dave, for the COC?
No, we would prefer to have it ahead of time. That way everybody's clear up front and what's going on there.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
anything else? Anything else, Alyssa?
No, I'm thinking, but go right ahead.
Jim?
No.
David?
No, I don't have anything else now.
Sandy? So, Mr. Bichette, you want a continuance until we get the updated plan?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we need to continue. It's just that I'm not going to issue the order until we get the updated plan.
That's
Okay,
fine, Dave.
so-
I'll have the plan in tomorrow. That's not a problem.
Okay. Is there anybody online that would like to comment on this particular project? I'm
Can I ask
seeing,
a question, Sandy?
yeah,
Is this shed going to be remaining?
sure looks that way.
I don't believe there was any plans to remove anything on the property that I was informed of.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so need a motion to close the hearing
so moved.
and a second.
Second.
David, second. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy, yes.
Next one.
Okay, hearing
Thank you.
is closed.
I
So,
move that we
the,
accept the project as determined with the change that's going to be coming to David ahead of time.
So we're going to issue, well, the motion is to issue the standard order of conditions with the stipulation that nothing until the new plan is received.
Right,
That's your motion.
with the changes spoken about.
All right, a second, please.
Second.
David seconded. All in favor, Alyssa,
Aye.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy, yes, you got it.
All right, are you ready?
Yes,
Are you
please.
ready? Pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protected Bylaw, Division 6, a public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. on the notice of intent for Bob Rigo, care of Riverhawk Environmental LLC, 2183 Ocean Street, Marshfield, Massachusetts, for the construction of a residential dwelling, sport court, driveway, and utilities located on Assessor's Map 128, Lot 1000A, 326 Glen Charlie Road, East Wareham.
Thank you. Anybody here for this particular project?
Yes, Madam Chair, Bob Rigo with Riverhawk Environmental and also the owner of the property.
Okay, thank you. Dave, your turn.
Sure. This project, as mentioned, is at 326 Glen Charlie Road and involves the construction of a single-family dwelling and associated structures, including a sport court in the buffer zone to Glen Charlie Pond. Hold on one second here. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, the project is proposed in the buffer zone to Glen Charlie Pond. The proposed dwelling is approximately 77 feet from the edge of the pond. The limit of work that's proposed is right up to the 30-foot no activity zone, which is from the top of the inland bank at the site. The project site is also within the estimated habitat of rare and endangered species. At this point, we have not received comments from Natural Heritage on this project. And I have also not had a chance to walk the site with the engineer Timing just didn't work out for me to get out there to do that. But since we were going to be waiting for the natural heritage comments or continuing for that, we'll take care of that before the next meeting. So we did get a DEP file number for the project, but we're just at this point waiting for comments from natural heritage and to do the formal site walk at the property. So I would recommend a continuance of the hearing to the next meeting.
Thank you. Bob, anything you want to add?
Nope, that's it. That sounds good.
Do I see pickleball court? Neat,
Yes, you do. Yes, yes.
neat. Okay,
That's for
question on the,
My wife is a big pickleball player, so.
questions from the board. Alyssa?
Not yet.
David?
Is there any surfaces that can be used on pickleball that are permeable?
No,
Or it's all going to be all impermeable surface on the thing?
that'll be an impermeable surface. Yep.
Okay. That's really the only question I had.
Jim?
I think,
Sandy? Is there any way that whole
Yeah,
driveway can be something other than concrete?
it's gravel.
No, it's a gravel circle driveway up to the house, a semicircle, but the
Uh-huh.
driveway from the Glen Charlie Road to the garage is concrete. I would be very concerned about the runoff onto Glen Charlie Road coming down that slope off of a impervious surface.
I can address that. That driveway is mostly outside of the 100-foot buffer zone to the bordering vegetated wetlands and to the bank. Only a very small portion up near the house is within the buffer zone. The site itself, as with probably most of Wareham, is gorgeous, beautiful, coarse sand. And the way the driveway is graded, it doesn't grade towards Glen Charlie Road. It grades down to a low point. So runoff will come from Glen Charlie Road onto the site, and then a portion of the driveway will drain towards the I guess that's towards the south part of the site, towards Glen Charlie Road, but there'll be no runoff from the driveway onto Glen Charlie Road whatsoever.
Thank you. Is there anybody online that would like to speak to this project? I'm hearing none. Can I get a motion to continue until August 19th?
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy. Yes, we are continued until 8/19.
And we have one last notice of public hearing pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protecting Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protected Bylaw, Division 6. Public hearing will be held on Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. on the notice of intent for Glen Priolo, care of Riverhawk Environmental LLC, 2183 Oceans. Is this the same one I just did? No.
No, same consultant.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. To construct a residential dwelling with associated driveway and utilities located on Assessor's Map 54, Lot 29, Cremisic Road, Wareham, Massachusetts.
Thank you. Speaking to this project, Bob, are you also on this one?
Yes, I am. Yep. Bob
You
Rigo.
plan that to have them both at the same time?
No, it just worked out that way. It worked out that way.
Mr. Bichette, please read to the project.
Yeah, so again, this is lot 29 off of Cremisic Road, and this project involves the construction of a single-family dwelling and garage in the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands at this site. The site is also within the coastal flood zone. This property also has a sewer pump station on it that's part of the town sewer system, which you see up front where it says permanent utility easement. So it's kind of a funky setup, not typical, but that's the way the lot is situated and that exists on the lot. As you can see by the grading, there is a significant amount of proposed grade change on this lot to try to get the dwelling up to, the proper flood elevation. When I looked at this lot, I looked at the wetland line and thought that some changes would need to be made to that. So again, with this one, I'm looking to continue that so we can get out and take a closer look at that wetland line before proceeding. We did get a DEP file number for this project, but at this point in time, I'm recommending a continuance to the next meeting.
Will the 19th work, David?
Yes, let's shoot for the 19th. Yep.
Bob, is that all right with you?
Yep, that's great. Yep.
Questions on the board? Alyssa?
Not yet.
David?
Dave, can you show me where the 30-foot no activity
Yeah.
zone is, or where? I can't really.
Yeah,
Oh.
it would be this
Oh yeah, I see it now.
this
Okay.
blue line right here. They've actually got it marked as 35 foot off the BVW. But that's what that line is right there.
And what, when you take that, what's between that and the water? What's that, all that land there?
All this,
Yeah,
it's just woods.
it's woods. And what are they going to do there?
There's nothing proposed in that area.
So does that mean that that won't be touched?
Yes,
So that won't be destroyed or touched?
that's correct.
Yep.
And so
Yeah,
they
and
won't-
this yellow line right here is their proposed limit of work. Okay, so outside of this yellow line, no alteration beyond this yellow line. Or orange line, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, Jim, any questions?
No, looks good.
Sandy's question is, how high do you have to raise the house?
I guess I'll take that, answer that. It's it's in a coastal floodplain AE zone with an elevation of I believe 16. So you have to have the first, by building code, you got to be 2 feet above that with the first floor elevation. So that puts the first floor elevation at 118 of the site. The existing grade is, I'm having trouble seeing the plan, but I think it's around 10 or 11. So there'd be about 6 feet of fill placed in the front of the site, and the first floor would sit about 7 feet above the existing ground surface.
And that's not uncommon, because I think all the homes off preservation had to have the same thing done to them.
Yeah, I think they're all in a similar flood zone. Yes, so that'd be my guess, but I'm unsure.
Okay. Anybody online that'd like to speak for this project?
One comment on this one, which is similar, Sandy, to your other question, is about the flow of water from the driveway. So are you going to say that, Bob, that the same situation is set up here where the water is going to sort of pitch into this area?
Yeah, it's going to pitch to where elevation 10 is on the driveway. It's going to kind of run to both the east and west, I guess, and to the west is going to be to a proposed small little rain garden, a little depression with some plantings, and then if it goes to the east, it's going to go flow overland to the wetlands.
So there'll be no flow of water toward the pump house?
This kind of without pointing to it, but where elevation goes from elevation 10, 9, and 8 towards the thing, that's kind of a graded in swale there. We'll take it around the edge. That pump area is elevated already. It's kind of within a mound of earth, around the pump station. So we'll just kind of take the water and run it around the backside.
Thank you. Asked by a sewer commissioner, so you know that I got a double hat on this one.
Oh, okay.
Can I call you back? I've got conservation going.
Okay, I believe we've got a, ask for a continuance until August 19th. I need a motion.
So moved.
I need a second. Second, all in favor of continuing, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yep.
Sandy. Yes, we're continued until 8/19.
Madam Chair, before I go, was the prior meeting also to August, to the 19th? Was it to?
Yes, I was just gonna say, Bob, you can come back on the 19th for both of these.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we have continued hearing. Repurposed properties.
Yep, hold on one second here while I get this plan up.
Oh, this is the one waiting for our drainage easements.
Yes.
While he's doing that, is there anybody here for this particular project?
Yes, Brian Wallace with JC Engineering.
You might have to speak up a bit, Brian. You're not coming through well.
Sorry, hold on one second here. Can you hear me now? Oh. How about now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's
Better.
a little better. Yep.
This is the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian Wallace with JC Engineering.
Hey, Ms. Bichette, your turn.
So this project site is at 5 Cliff Ave in Swifts Beach area, and this project involves the demolition of an existing dwelling and the construction of a new dwelling on this site, which is within a coastal flood zone. We had been continuing this hearing because we were waiting for some additional information regarding an existing drainage pipe that's on the site that was not shown on the original plan. So if you can follow where I'm pointing, this is showing the existing pipe that's under the ground that cuts across the property to the back to this manhole. Okay, so that's what was not shown on the first plan. As you can see, the proposed house is right on that. So what they're proposing to do is to basically abandon or remove that and install a new drain line that, instead of going across this way, would start here, come to this drain manhole, and then cut across the property here to this back manhole, and then connect back into the system again.
Dave, why don't you just run that again?
Yeah.
Where's the pointer?
Yeah, it would start
There you
here
go. Okay.
and then come in this direction to this manhole, and then run this whole distance till the back of the lot until you hit this manhole, and then that would tie back into the existing manhole. So they're just sort of making a loop around to basically remove this drain pipe and put it into this structure here. This plan was just given to me very recently, so I have not had a chance to speak to Dave Menard at the Municipal Maintenance Department to see if he's comfortable with this. And there were also a couple of abutters who were concerned about this project, and they would not have had a chance to see this plan either. So I'm not necessarily opposed to what's shown here. It's just that I would recommend a continuance so that we could get these some answers from Dave Menard and also allow the abutters a chance to see the revised plan.
Okay. Questions? Alyssa?
Is there any drainage issue that doesn't show on a two-dimensional map that we should know about, David? With this new plan? I mean, it's a little circuitous.
Yeah, that part, again, I would have to leave up to the engineer to say how that drainage system would function, and also to Dave Menard, and that's why I want to get his comment, because he's the one who's going to have to deal with the runoff from this particular site. So since I haven't heard from him whether or not he's comfortable with it. That's why I'm requesting the continuance.
Okay, David?
So that drainage system, there's a catch basin right next to it? Oh,
Yep.
is that what provides the water for it? Or is it other lines going into that?
There's other catch basins that feed into this, but this is the one that's closest and shown on the plan. And that does drop into this manhole, and then eventually, currently it's supposed to flow in
Right.
this direction.
So there are other lines going to that from other catch basins. It's connected system?
But they all come into this point here. In
Gotcha.
other words, that's where everything dumps into from this manhole. There's one across the street over here that ties into it. There could be others from other directions. I'm not 100% sure of how much goes into that, but certainly there's more than just the catch basin that's shown.
Well, a lot of water is going to be going through there at some point then. I mean, if it really rains. So.
David, I have a question also.
Yep.
Can you just tell me, clear off the blue, or ask Mr. Menard, when was that catch basin last cleaned?
Yeah, well, that's a
Hey.
good question.
You know,
Um,
it's important. You've got a lot of people depending upon that catch basin.
No,
Even
that's
now.
right. That's true. So I don't know the answer to that. So I'll have to ask that to Dave Menard.
I can speak on that a little bit in terms of when it was last. So we actually met on site with Dave back in July to kind of go over this, and they had that catch basin. I'm not sure if they had cleaned that catch basin out, but the structures on Cliff Avenue, they did clean those out recently at our request, so we could help locate them. So we met with Dave back in July on this on site, and just kind of went over the locations of those manholes, where that drain pipe runs, and then we briefly talked about how we would reroute the drain pipe. It's essentially how you see it on this plan. In order to construct the house, we would abandon that existing drain pipe and provide newer manholes. And in this case, we would be, right now it's an existing 12-inch round concrete pipe. We would be proposing 15-inch HDPE piping. So that would help any, efficient drainage in that area, specifically with that catch basin on Shore Ave. We would be, if anything, improving the drainage situation by abandoning that concrete pipe, which we're almost certain is filled with sediment, and providing the new 15-inch plastic piping. So that's kind of the basis of the design there.
Okay. Thank you. Jim, any questions?
No?
I have several questions. The center, you call it a dry well that I see, those two little circles, is a dry well that will take all the runoff from the roof?
Yeah, so that is more or less a low
Can you
point.
speak up, please?
Sorry.
No.
No, that location, the dry well, is a low point on the property. So we are providing a dry well for that, just to control some of the runoff, in that area, and prevent any flooding.
So there will be nothing, there will be no structure taking off from the roof into this dry well?
Yeah, so the overland runoff will be graded towards that structure. So, at the moment, we don't have it piped into that dry well, but we can certainly look at that.
Okay, now what will happen to that space where the old dwelling is coming down?
So that space would, that dwelling would be torn down, and that area would just be graded out, and I imagine loam and sodded, and just become a lawn.
So it won't be a parking place for this structure, because where's parking on this piece of property?
Yeah,
You're just
so-
showing the driveway up front.
Yep,
Okay,
there's-
so,
There's the driveway up front, and then there's also a garage in front of that.
Really?
Underneath the structure. Yep. So there will be plenty of parking offshore Ave, and there will not be any parking
Off of
planned for
Cliff.
Ave. That's
So the area on Cliff Air will become lawn
that's correct. Yep,
and help with the drainage by absorbing it into the soil.
that's correct. And
Okay.
Cliff Ave, it's a dirt road, right at that manhole in front of the property. It's essentially a low point, so we'll be, again, we'll be improving the drainage characteristics there.
Okay. Is there anybody on the call that'd like to talk to this project? I'm hearing none. I'd like to continue. We're going to continue this until is the 19th good with you, Brian?
Yes, that'll work.
David, all right with you?
Yes.
So I need a motion to continue until 8:19.
Moved. So
Second.
moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy, yes, until the 19th. And, oh, Mr. Bichette, can you send us updated plans, please?
On that one, yes, I certainly can send that to you.
Yeah, because what we have is the old one, so I'll get, new ones are coming. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Dwayne Nicolau at Nicolau. Is there anybody here for that particular project?
We got a request from the engineer on this to continue this hearing till the next meeting. They are still working out some details on the project, so they've requested a continuance to the next meeting, which is the 19th.
Is there anybody online for this particular project on 1A Worrell Ave? I'm not hearing anything. I'll take a motion to continue until August 19th.
Motion to continue.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yep,
Sandy. We'll continue it until the 19th. We have 3 projects coming up. Is there anybody here for the 27 Charge Pond Road project?
Madam Chair, we also, on these 3 sites, the 3 Borrego sites, we also did get a request for continuances on these 3 hearings. On the 27 Charge Pond Road, I just recently completed reviewing the wetland boundaries with the consultant, and there were a number of changes made, and so they are going to have to spend some time to revise the plan and then resubmit that to us with the new wetland boundaries shown on that. So that's the reason for the continuance on request on that one. And the other 2 on Tyhonet Road, I simply still have not had time to get over and review those because we've been trying to finish up the 27 Charge Pond Road site. So again, that's the reason for that to be continued as well.
Okay, I'm going to take all 3 of them at the same time. Is there anybody on the call that was here for this, of the solar farms? Anybody? I haven't heard anybody. Part of it, I understand, Charge Pond Road site, it was a dump site, so it has a lot of tires and concrete and construction trash. So when we come up with 27, I think we're going to talk about them cleaning up the dump that exists close to the wetlands, but that's for another hearing. So I'll take a motion to continue all 3 of them until August 9th. Oh, when do you think? 19th or later?
Later.
David? Do you want to go out 4 weeks?
Well, I think the applicant had requested till the 19th. So let's go with that and see where things stand on the 19th.
Okay, so I need a motion to continue until the 19th.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy, we're continued until the 19th. Okay. Do you want to go down to certificate of compliances, or do you want to go to enforcement orders, Dave?
It's fine to do it whatever way you want to go with. We can go with the certificates of compliance if you want to do that and come back to the others
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, that can be done fairly quickly, right?
Generally I would say so, yeah.
Okay, it's yours.
Okay. Okay, so the first site is 22 Allen Ave in the Swifts Beach area, and this was an old order for the construction of a deck at this site. They just never followed up with the certificate of compliance request, so I would recommend the approval of that certificate of compliance.
So moved.
I have a motion. A second from David, all in favor. Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy, yes. So one more set of documents to sign. Next,
Yes.
please.
The next one is 37 Prospect Street, Stephen Carradinos, and this was the project with the large wall that we had required to be modified because it didn't follow the plan correctly when it was first constructed. That has since been redone in accordance with the plan. And the last issue was we had talked about some plantings on the slope there. I did meet with the property owner, and he is going to be putting some supplemental beach grass on that area. It's currently stabilized. It just needs to have some additional beach grass planted, but you really can't plant beach grass this time of year. That really needs to be done in early October. So he's going to do that, but at this point, the project as a whole is completed. So I would say the commission could grant the certificate of compliance with that supplemental planting to follow up. It's not real significant, so I would say that would be fine.
Okay, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor. Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy, yes. Okay, David, next one, please.
The next one is a solar project that was filed by Solbright Solar. This is off of Squirrel Island Road. So this was a large-scale solar project in the buffer zone to wetlands. The project also had some wetlands alterations, which required a wetland replication area. And the project has been completed. The wetland replication area has been completed as well. We did have a number of go-rounds with this because there were things that had not been completed properly, so they had to go back and sort of make some corrections and changes. So I do think it's completed at this point. So I would recommend the issuance of the certificate of compliance with some ongoing conditions that have to be referenced, and that includes the stormwater maintenance and maintenance of the site is going to be an ongoing condition. And also there was a condition that debris and materials not be stored on the subject site from the property owner, because there was a number of things that were placed there by the owner of the property. And so again, that's going to have to be a continuing condition so that does not become a future dumping / storage area going forward. So I would recommend the issuance of the certificate with those two ongoing conditions referenced as well.
Okay. Desire of the board.
I move to accept with the two
I
motions.
need someone to think. Okay, I have a motion to accept the recommendations and the approval.
second,
Okay, I need a second.
Second?
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Alyssa?
Aye.
David?
Yes.
Jim?
yes,
Andy? Yes. All right. Next one, David, please.
Okay, very good. You guys all set?
Yep.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. The next one is James Churchill, 5 Lydia's Island Road. And this project was for the construction of a single-family home in a flood zone. The project has been completed according to the order of conditions, so I would recommend the issuance of that order of condition, certificate of compliance for that project.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I've been, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Alyssa?
Yes.
Yes.
Jim?
yes,
Sandy? Yes, done.
The next one is John Nolan. This was for the construction of a house on 14 French Ave, which is in the Rose Point area. And this was a construction of a house in the buffer zone to wetlands. That has also been completed according to the plan. So again, I would recommend the issuance of the certificate of compliance for that project.
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor? Alyssa?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Jim?
yes,
Sandy? Yes, done. Next one, please.
Next one is Jeffrey and Kimberly Hoban, 32 Galt Road, and this was for a septic upgrade. This project also has been completed according to the order of conditions, so I recommend that certificate of compliance as well.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second from David. All in favor? Alyssa?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Jim?
yes,
Sandy? Yes, done. Next one, please.
Okay, the last one was Stephen Arduello, and this also was for a septic upgrade at 47 Faring Hill Road. This is also completed, and so I would recommend that certificate of compliance also.
So moved.
Motion is made,
Second.
second by David. All in favor? Alyssa?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Jim?
yes,
Sandy? Yes, done. Now we go to enforcement orders. Ken Keegan.
Yeah, so this is the site at 35 East Boulevard where we've had an ongoing violation. At the last meeting, we had spoken to the property owner who was on the meeting, and he was directed to have that shed removed from his site by a certain date. He has not done that at this point, so that's still an outstanding matter. He did take the shed and put it on a trailer, and I'm not sure, why he thought that might make it legal, but in any event, he still has not removed that. So I say at this point, it's something that we should look to get town council involved with. And I know the building inspector is also addressing some building permitting related issues as well at the site. And I believe Sandy spoke with the property owner.
All right, do you need a motion
after-
from,
Did you, you spoke with him after the last meeting, did you not, Sandy, at his site?
and indicate the concern we had with the fire pit and the shed? And yes, that's just shared with him what our comments were, and that's where it went. And he said that he would be taking the shed away and replacing it with the trailer. Well, he turned the shed into a trailer. So do you need a vote from us to address town council on this matter?
I would like that, yes.
I move that we address town council on the matter of the trailer, the fire pit, and the grasses.
Second.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say all associated with the property at 35 East Boulevard.
Yeah, the
'Cause I know
violations,
he pla-
the violations as a whole.
Yeah. So I have a motion and a second to address this to town council on all code violations at 35 East Boulevard. I'll take a vote. Alyssa,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
yes,
Sandy. Yes. So Mr. Bowen will be contacted. Okay. Ferry at 16 Jobs Island Road, any activity there?
The owner has contracted with JC Engineering to develop a notice of intent application to submit to us for that site and that violation. So that is in the process. I've spoken to someone from JC Engineering who has told me they're in the process of getting that prepared. No further work has taken place at the site at this point. So we're just waiting for that application to be submitted to us.
Okay. Did you came across something else down at Cremisa. Did you want to talk about that tonight before we go on to talk to Ron and Carol?
Yeah, sure. I came across a violation down in Cremisa Park off of Cremisa Road that involved some folks that had put a very large tarp over a chunk of salt marsh / beach grass to basically try to smother it out. Sandy's kind of holding up a picture of it. So
How about that, huh?
Cool.
Don't like the grass, so let's kill.
right. So I'm sending an enforcement letter to that association because that's part of the beach association property.
So Dave just happened to come across that. Thank you, David.
You
All
can't
right.
take that canvas off, David?
What's that?
You can't just take that canvas off and then pursue it? You have to
Well-
leave it there until it dies and then we have to take it off.
Oh no, we're gonna have them take it off immediately. I didn't know if I should start taking it off personally that day, but we're certainly gonna have it removed or have them remove it as soon as possible.
We gave them,
They've already been notified.
All
we
right.
gave them until Monday. Monday, they get a $300 fine for doing it the first place. And if it's not done by Monday, it's $300 a day until it is removed. Correct,
Yes,
David?
that's correct.
Yeah. All right. Is there anybody else on the call that has a comment before we talk to Ron and to Carol? Did I miss anything on the line?
Nope.
I don't think so. We got it all covered. Okay. We have received two applications for our opening as an associate member on the board. Now, I ask them to attend this meeting so they give a hint as to what we do and how we do our meetings, and that we would interview them on the next meeting on the 19th. But I'm going to ask Ron if he has any particular questions for us. We can answer, he can ask, and we can respond to him tonight. So Ron, your turn.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Good. No, so it was nice to be able to sit through the meeting and kind of understand a little bit about what the commission does. to serve the town. I'm very interested in getting into the town in some capacity to serve and help this town moving forward. I've applied to several committees. This one in particular, I believe in trying to keep the town and keep certain things that need to be protected, protected, and making sure that whenever something is being done, it's being done within the confines of the abilities of the locations that things are being done. And I'm just very interested in putting my foot forward with the commission, if so chosen to be, just to really start getting to ingrain myself in the town and understanding the inner workings of the things that are done on a daily basis.
Great.
Thank you. Will you be able to attend the meeting on the 19th so we can interview you?
Absolutely, as long as I do have a child that is expected to be born here in the very relatively short term. So as long as the child is not born and I'm not in the hospital, absolutely.
Yeah, that would definitely be the better place to be for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd be sleeping outside if I wasn't there.
Yeah, and Sandy, just to mention, the next meeting with all these continued hearings, plus all the new hearings that we're going to have, it's going to be a lengthy meeting, I can tell you.
Well, if the board wants to interview Ron tonight and ask any questions, we can do that now and not delay. Because what happens if it's on our agenda for appointments and reappointments, so we can ask the questions, vote on it, and we can submit the response to the selectmen. We don't have to wait till the 19th. What does the board want to do? I'm not going to poll you, just speak up.
Well, let's get started, see how it goes.
Yeah, he wants
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I think we should just, because we have two applicants and we have Michael as well, correct?
Well, Michael's basically resigned himself because he got a job somewhere that won't permit him to continue to attend the meetings.
Okay. So what are the other committees that you have applied to, please?
We lost
Well,
her.
I had.
Let's go.
Was that for me?
Yes, Ron.
Okay. I had applied to the charter review group and didn't hear anything back, so I had assumed that they had moved on in another direction. And then the conservation committee was the two that I had applied to.
And
Okay.
can you just
Sorry.
kind of maybe describe a little bit? Do you have any background in terms of environmental type work or environmental permitting, or is this going to be something relatively new for you?
This would be new for me. I've taken an amateur interest in it, and just kind of looking at things that go along around in different towns that I've lived in. Done a lot of research on different environmental works around the state, but this would be my first official type capacity in any type of environmental work.
No, okay, no, that's great.
So did you just move to the town, Ron?
I've been in town. Me and my fiance bought a home back last April up in the Swift Beach area. My family's been in this town since the 1800s, and I've made my way back here. I own property in another town also, but I've wanted to get back here because I have a large family. I have 4 children and 1 on the way. And we decided that Wareham was the best place for them to grow up and go to school. And that's why we've made our roots here.
Jim, do you have any questions?
Nope.
I have none. So if we're looking for a motion to recommend to the selectmen that Ron be appointed as an associate member to conservation, that motion.
Well,
But I want to make
Sandy, I think that we haven't yet heard from the other applicant. So I think
we
that
have 3. Alyssa, we have 3 openings.
3 openings. Okay. Yep.
You want to wait until we speak to Carol?
I would personally, but that's okay.
All right.
She's right there.
Carol,
I
talk,
can look at her.
yes, yeah, Carol, talk to us.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Carol Melanson. I currently serve on the Open Space Committee with Sandy in the clerk position. I have been a member of Open Space since 2018. And I have been spearheading the rebuilding of the Shangri-La playground, which is a full-time job, to say the least. And until coronavirus hit, and then that kind of stopped everything, but that's okay. I needed a breather. I applied to this commission because I do care about the conservation of things like wetlands and wildlife habitats. And it seems that in a lot of areas, especially impacting Shangri-La, we see the impact of what goes on in Plymouth because it's driving the wildlife into a residential neighborhood, which is not a good thing when it comes to fisher cats and coyotes and other aggressive species that are encroaching into a neighborhood. So it's something that I'm interested in is the conservation. I want to make Wareham a much better place to live than what it could become if nobody cares. So in that aspect, I think I'd be good at it. This was eye-opening, seeing how things run here. The only time I've ever dealt with a conservation commission was when I was on the recreation department for Freetown. And we needed to put sand into our town beach. And for years it was just done. Wintertime came, they pushed sand out onto the ice. When spring came, it melted and sand dropped into the pond. And finding out about quadrangle maps and the Army Corps of Engineers, and it was so complicated. So a lot of it is at this point over my head because I'm new to it. But I do think that it's something that I would be able to grasp with guidance and with time. Experience is a great teacher. I appreciate your help with the video tonight because I haven't, I'm not techie. I'm too old for that stuff. So that is the reason that I applied. I know that it's not easy to get board members, but I believe that as a 20-year resident of Wareham, it's important to be part of your community and to give to your community and do things to benefit your community. So that is the reason I have applied.
Thank you. Question.
Do either one of them want to add anything else? Or, I mean, they realize it's twice a month. They realize they have to deal with Dave.
The other Dave.
Yes.
That's right, David Hall. You're right.
I am well aware it's twice a month, and I'm pretty easy to deal with, and in dealing with most people, as Sandy can attest to.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to speak my mind.
Can I ask both a quick other question? How familiar are you with the different areas of the town? In other words, are you familiar with the different regions of the town? And if we say, oh, a project's in Rose Point, you kind of have a sense of where that is and so forth. What's your level of knowledge of different parts of town?
Myself, I'm a road runner, so I know all areas of town.
Okay.
I think
Cliff Beach and Shangri-La, and know the history, know the lore from people that grew up in both places, and Jefferson Shores. It's I've been pretty much just
around.
I think in Wareham, but I've never been on Squirrel Island Road.
Yeah, not many people have.
No, because it's a dirt road, and my husband's a body man, so we avoid dirt roads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know the town pretty well.
Okay, great.
What part of town do you live in, Carol?
I live in Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
Yes.
Okay. So nobody's from Onset except me.
I know Onset.
Okay. You know it all. That's good.
anything else? Any questions?
I just wanted to hear Ron's response. We've lost your audio, Ron.
I think he's shut off.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, I had it muted. Sorry.
Okay.
So I know most parts of town, Shangri-La, Rose Point. I live in the Swift Beach part of town.
Yeah.
I've made it a point to just generally travel through the town and just kind of get to see some parts that you wouldn't normally drive through. So I am getting to know all of them. I still don't know every one of them, but within the next couple of months, in my free time, I will be perusing through the town and just getting to know some spots that I don't quite know.
One more question. Would both be willing to peruse the bylaws?
Absolutely. I've been going through the town bylaws. I've been going through the town charter. I've been doing a lot of research over the last several months, and running for selectmen and whatnot. I've kind of made it a point to really start to understand a lot about the town.
But the bylaws also for the Conservation Commission.
Yep. I have them. I actually have them printed out at home.
All right. Good job.
Yes, I would absolutely be willing to read the bylaws and understand the bylaws.
Easier.
Good luck.
Okay. 50-foot no work zone has been a tough ones to implement. Just Ron, as a side note, can you pick up some of your campaign signs I found down at Faring and County Road?
Okay.
There's a couple of them still hanging around.
Now, is that on personal property? Because I didn't put any signs out there.
Well, somebody did. But anyway, just driving around looking at the Lismacky Way, I found a couple hanging around. Okay.
On Farringham County, I'll take a drive down there.
The package store.
By the package stores, so I think I saw one. Yeah. Okay, that's off the topic. Now, we have 3 openings in the associate membership. For Carol and Ron, the associate member is not used to identify our quorum, nor are they allowed to vote on the state regs. But it would be a stepping point to be available to step up into a voting member when we have an opening. So you would be associate, and it would be a learning curve for you. All right?
Absolutely.
Yes, that would be
I move
perfect.
to accept.
So what would the commission like to do? I have a motion to.
I would make a motion that we accept both as members.
Associate members.
Associate members, that's the word, right.
Okay. It would be a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen because they're the ones that do the appointing, but it would be based on our recommendation.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I have a second, please.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Alyssa,
Aye.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy. Yes.
I appreciate it.
So, oh, wait a minute. Alan has a comment. Would you listen to Alan's comment?
Just want to thank everybody for stepping up. We really needed the help. Thank you very much.
Now, David, I will send the letter. I would send the email to the selectmen for you because I don't think anybody realizes that Kelly has
Left.
Yeah.
retired. So
Yes.
they have no help in the office. So I will get that email off to the selectmen so they can put it on their agenda for an upcoming meeting. If that's it,
Good luck
Thank
with the
you. Thank you,
debate.
Sandy.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
I move to close the meeting.
Just before you close
have
it,
a mo-
Sandy,
Oh, rats.
Sandy,
Wait a
just
minute.
before you close it, just ask if there's anybody else that has any comments.
Oh, sorry.
Anybody else online? I see a Tom. Oh,
They may not have any comments. I just wanted to
Okay.
see if you would ask, and if they don't, then that's fine and we can close it.
okay, let's close it. I have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I have a second from Jim, Alyssa, David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sandy. Yes, thank you, everybody. We'll be in touch on the 19th and have a good evening.
Night.
All right, thanks a lot.
Right.
Nice to
Night.
meet you, Ron, and nice to meet you,
Nice
Carol.